Hi, my name is Jeremy Sauls, and I am an attorney with RIF Asylum Support, and today we are going to be discussing some immigration court basics for after your USCIS interview. So, let's begin. These are some immigration court basics for those referred after their USCIS interview. After you have your interview at the asylum office, you will receive a decision letter. The letter may announce that you've been granted asylum or that you've been referred to the immigration court. This means that an asylum officer decided not to grant your asylum and is asking that a judge decides on your case. The letter will give general reasons as to why you've been referred to the court. This process is known as a defensive process because you are asserting asylum as a defense in your removal proceeding. The letter will give you a date to appear for your master calendar hearing at the immigration court. What happens at the master calendar hearing? Whether or not you have an attorney, you must show up at the scheduled time of your master calendar hearing. If you do not have a lawyer at the master calendar hearing, the judge will give you a list of free lawyers and more time to find a lawyer, either private or pro bono. The judge will give you a new date to return for your master calendar hearing, and if you are not able to find a lawyer, you may be requested to represent yourself. If you have a lawyer, the immigration judge will give you a date for your individual hearing. This is also known as the merits hearing or final hearing. Try to think of the master calendar hearing as more of a scheduling process rather than an actual court proceeding. Here are some important things to know. The final hearing can take place from several weeks, months, or even years after the master calendar hearing due to a huge backlog at the immigration court. Use this time to renew your work permit or find an attorney. Finding a pro bono attorney takes a lot of time and patience as they face a huge demand for their services. If you plan to hire a private attorney, do your research on Google about their reputation and experience in the immigration court. Some things to consider regarding representation. This is a chart from the American Immigration Council that demonstrates how important it is to receive representation in the immigration court. As you can see, the dark blue bars represent individuals that were represented in their proceeding, and the light blue bars represent individuals that didn't have access to counsel during their proceeding. Immigrants represented in their proceeding are more likely to be granted relief among the three populations considered by the study, those being detained, released, or never detained to begin with. And as you can see, the rates of a positive case outcome were nearly 3 times higher in almost all populations amongst individuals represented by counsel. So this stresses the importance of obtaining an attorney for your immigration court proceeding. Preparing for your individual hearing. Your lawyer will review with you your asylum application and evidence. They should meet with you to prepare how to respond to questions at your final hearing, and in some cases, your lawyer will help you find witnesses that can back up your claim, such as country conditions experts, medical and mental health practitioners. So what happens at your individual hearing? First, you will be asked questions by your attorney. This is known as the direct examination. Your attorney's goal is to prove that you deserve asylum and qualify under the law. Then you'll be asked questions by the ICE or government attorney. This is known as the cross-examination. After that, the judge will ask their own questions and make a final decision based on your case. An individual hearing is usually long and can last between 2 to 4 hours, so be prepared for that. Important to note. It's very important that when you testify, you do not contradict anything you wrote in your application or any of the evidence that you submitted. It's very important that you prepare well and read extremely carefully your declaration. So that's your application, affidavit, and know your story front to back. You must insist that your lawyer provides you with a copy of your application package so that you have a chance to review it prior to the hearing. The decision. A decision to grant asylum is usually made by the judge the same day of your hearing, but sometimes the decision is delayed for various reasons, and the judge will inform you on the next steps. Your appeal options. If the judge denies your asylum, you will have 30 days to appeal to the Board of Immigration Appeals in Falls Church, Virginia. You or your lawyer will need to fill out Form EOIR 26. But don't worry, during the appeal time, you cannot be deported and you can also renew your work permit. Coping with stress. Preparing for your hearing will make you feel in control during the actual hearing, so make sure you know your story front to back. Do not feel embarrassed to ask the judge or prosecutor to ask their questions again if you did not understand them, because oftentimes they can be rooted in complex legal theory or worded in such a way to avoid being leading. If you feel too overwhelmed emotionally, ask the judge for a break. Remember, this is your time and your story, so use it. Be prepared to remain firm about your story, as you may get destabilized by harsh questions. Remember that it is you, mostly, who has to convince the judge and prosecutor that you deserve asylum. Thank you for watching, and please remember to subscribe to our channel or follow us online at www.rifnyc.org for more asylum and immigration-based content. Have a nice day.